Hey guys, this is Towheed Shakil and I'm back with yet another video, and in this video we are going to discuss an important topic, that is role of civil services in a democracy. The points we are going to talk about in this video are: what are civil services, role of civil services in democracy, historical evolution of civil services, importance of civil services, functions of civil services, and constitutional provisions of civil servant. So guys, let's get started. First, we will see what are civil services. In the simplest of terms, a country's civil service is their government body responsible for public administration and implementing their formulated plans and policies for holistic social welfare. In India, a civil services official ideally is a servant of the Indian society and is selected on the basis of their merit in the CSE exam conducted by UPSC. The prominent civil services in India are IAS, IFS, IRS and IPS. So what is role of civil services in democracy? In a democracy, the civil services play an extremely important role in administration, policy formulation and implementation, and in taking the country forward towards progress and development. There are actually three pillars in modern democracy: legislature, executive and judiciary. The civil services form a part of executive. While the ministers who are part of executive are temporary and are re-elected are replaced by the people by their will, that is through elections, the civil servants are the permanent part of executive. And what is actually the historical evolution of civil services? In India, the idea of the systematic public administration system has been in place since ancient times. The Mauryan administration employed civil servants in the name of Adhyakshas and others. Chanakya's Arthashastra reveals that the civil servants were recruited on the basis of merit and excellence, and that they had a stringent investigation method. In the Mughal period, there were state officers who took care of the land revenue system. In modern times, the East India Company had a civil service to do their commercial activities. The British government in India established the civil services chiefly with the aim of strengthening their control over the Indian possessions. In 1800, Lord Wellesley, the Governor General of India from 1798 to 1805, established the College of Fort William, where every worker of company was sent for a 3-year course. They were taught international law, ethics, Indian history, and Eastern languages, etc. The East India Company College was established near London to train members of the civil services. In post-independence India, the civil services was reorganized. During the British Raj, law and order enforcement and collection of revenue were the major concerns of the civil services officers. After independence, when the government assumed the role of welfare state, civil services acquired an important role in executing national and state policies of welfare and planned development. Now let's talk about the importance of the civil services. The civil service is present all over India and it thus has a strong binding character. It plays a vital role in effective policy making and regulation. It offers non-partisan advice to the political leadership of the country, even in the midst of political instability. The service gives effective coordination between the various institutions of the governance and also between different departments, bodies, etc. It offers services delivery and leadership at different levels of administration. Now let's talk about functions of civil services. First is basis of government. There can be no government without administrative machinery. Implementing law and policies, the civil services are responsible for implementing laws and executing policies framed by the government. Policy formulation, the civil service is chiefly responsible for policy formulation as well. The civil service officers advise ministers in this regard and also provides them with facts and ideas. Stabilizing force. During political instability, the civil service offers stability and permanence. While governments and ministers can come and go, the civil services is a permanent fixture, giving the administrative setup a sense of stability and continuity. Instruments of social change and economic development. Successful policy implementation will lead to the positive changes in the lives of ordinary people. It is only when the promised goods and services reach the intended beneficiaries a government can call any scheme successful. The task of actualizing schemes and policies fall with the officers of the civil services. Welfare services. The services offer a variety of welfare schemes such as providing social security, welfare of weaker and vulnerable sections of the society, old age pensions, poverty alleviation, etc. Developmental functions. The services perform a variety of developmental functions like promoting modern techniques and agriculture, promoting industry, trade, banking functions, bridging the digital divide, etc. Administrative adjudication. The civil services also perform quasi-judicial services by settling disputes between state and the citizens in the form of tribunals, etc. Now, what are constitutional provisions related to civil services? As per Article 53 and 154, the executive power of the Union and the state vests in the President or Governor directly or through officers subordinate to them. These officers constitute the permanent civil service and are governed by Part X1V of the Constitution. Government of India. Transaction of business rules. The manner in which the officers are required to help the President or the Governor to exercise his her executive functions is governed by these rules. Article 311. Dismissal, removal, or reduction in a rank of persons employed in civil capacities under the Union or a state. Article 312. All Indian services. Accountability of civil servant. The civil servants are responsible to the ministers of the departments in which they serve. The ministers are accountable to the people through the parliament or state legislatures, and the civil servants are accountable to the ministers. They should ideally serve the elected government of the body. Government policies are the functions of the civil services. However, an impartial civil servant is also accountable to the Constitution of India, on which he has taken an oath of allegiance. Now we will see the problems affecting civil services today. Lack of professionalism and poor capacity building, ineffective incentive system that does not reward the meritorious and upright civil servants, rigid and outmoded rules and procedures that do not allow civil servants to exercise individual judgment and perform efficiently, lack of accountability and transparency procedure with no adequate protection for whistleblowers, political interference causing arbitrary transfers and insecurity in tenures, and erosion in ethics and values which has caused rampant corruption and nepotism, patrimonialism, that is a form of governance in which all power flows directly from the government, resistance to change from the civil servants themselves.